A Frog's Destiny, a retelling of The Frog Prince by Josiah Smith. Once upon a time, there was a lonely scientist whose name was Destiny. She was lonely because she devoted all her time to working on an invention of hers. A golden orb that was supposed to help maintain atmospheric moisture levels. She didn't know why, but she felt deep down that she needed to finish it. So, that meant she was always working on it. One day, after another failed experiment,
"Oh no, not again! Oh!"
She picked up the orb and was about to throw it against the wall, but decided not to because her wall already had too many holes from her past failed experiments. She decided to blow off steam by taking a jog instead, so she left her apartment and went to the park. As Destiny was jogging along, she tripped on a small rock jutting out of the ground.
Ooh! Ow!
At that moment, she remembered that she had unconsciously slipped the orb into her pocket because she now saw it flying out of her pocket and landing in the pond.
Oh no!
She ran to the pond and desperately searched for the orb. But she couldn't find it. The thought of losing part of her life's work was too much for her to bear.
I can't lose this!
Ribbit! 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 Is this what you are looking for? Ribbit! Ribbit!
Who said that?
Destiny looked around. There was no one there.
Ribbit! I'm down here.
She looked down and saw a frog with the golden orb sitting next to it.
Ribbit! Ribbit!
She picked up the orb, thinking she must have imagined it falling into the water.
I must be losing it.
Ribbit! Aren't you going to thank me? Ribbit! Ribbit!
Destiny jumped back from the frog in shock.
What? How are you talking?
Ribbit! I suspect it has something to do with that strange gold ball you dropped into my pond. Ribbit! Ribbit! I have never talked before, but I can speak now that I have retrieved your ball from the water. Ribbit!
It isn't a ball. It's an orb that is supposed to float in the upper atmosphere and maintain pressures and weather and things like that. I don't know how it could make you talk.
Ribbit! I'm sure scientific equipment has many uses.
How do you know so much? Did the orb increase your knowledge?
Ribbit! No, I'm not any smarter than before. Ribbit! Your error is in believing that frogs are not as intelligent as humans. Most frogs may not be smart, but I went to Harvard. Ribbit! Ribbit!
How did you go to college?
Ribbit! I used to be someone's pet. My owner went to Harvard, and I watched him complete his class assignments. Ribbit!
This is amazing! Wait, what's that?
Both Destiny and the frog watched in amazement as space and time momentarily folded in on itself. Then it unfolded. And the only sign of the anomaly left was a humanoid robot standing where there had been nothing moments before.
Greetings, human and frog. I am Henry-001. I am from the future. How are you today?
Neither Destiny nor the frog responded.
Apologies. My circuits may have been scrambled during the jump. If I had said something you do not understand or find offensive, please file a complaint with my manufacturer. Of course, unless the jump did not happen properly, your complaint will not reach my manufacturer for a very long time.
Ribbit? Hello, Henry-001. I'm Xavier, and this is my human companion. Ribbit, why are you here, and what do you want with us?
I am here to change your fates, so that the future will one day be habitable and secure. The future I come from is a desolate ruin caused by atmospheric disturbances. It reached a point where the atmosphere was unfixable. So humanity began looking to the past for answers. When it was found that a scientist was working on a solution, I was sent back to keep her from dying so she could finish her invention.
Wait! You mean I die before I finish the orb?
Yes, you died from a broken heart when Xavier was killed in an unfortunate accident.
Ribbit, what sort of unfortunate accident?
One that will occur in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2.
At that moment, a bird swooped down. Its talons stretched out to grab Xavier. Ah! Henry-001 stepped forward and swatted the bird away.
Catastrophe successfully averted.
After he said that, he disappeared. Xavier and Destiny were silent for a moment. Finally, Destiny spoke.
That was odd.
Xavier nodded in agreement.
Ribbit, he was an odd fellow, wasn't he? I suppose that it is all over now, though. Ribbit? Ribbit?
At that moment, Henry-001 reappeared. He looked grim.
The future is unchanged. I fear I must stay with you until the device is complete. Only then can the future safety be guaranteed.
The next few weeks were very hectic. Xavier had almost been eaten, stepped on,
Ah!
dropped in soup, and anything else you can imagine. This went on for nearly 2 months. Henry-001 had saved Xavier from death hundreds of times, but the future was still in need of change. Since Xavier's life was always at stake, Destiny took him to her home for convenience and safety. They started to have real conversations and enjoyed each other's company. Henry-001, seeing that he was no longer needed, left for the future.
At first, I thought you were just this strange frog that I had to keep alive so I could finish my project. I have to admit, you mean more to me than that. No one has ever really listened to me or believed in my experiments. but you do. Thank you for being my friend.
Ribbit! Thank you. You're smarter than you give yourself credit. You could easily get into Harvard. And, Destiny, not many people want to be friends with frogs, so thank you for being my friend as well. Ribbit!
Destiny slowly grew closer to the frog. She found him to be very kind and trusting. She originally thought losing him wouldn't make her so upset that she would die, but now she couldn't imagine life without Xavier. This meant she had to fix the orb, not only for the future, but for her relationship with Xavier. She didn't want to rely on Henry 001 saving his life. She wanted to be the one to do it. So, Destiny spent every moment the next few days in her lab trying to fix the orb. Her frustration began to build because she couldn't get it to work. Finally, it was too much for her. She picked up the orb to throw it across the room in anger. Xavier realized beforehand what she was about to do, so he jumped up and grabbed the orb. The orb's momentum was too much for him to stop, however. The orb continued its flight and dragged Xavier along with it. He hit the wall and landed on some scientific equipment. The table holding the equipment crashed to the ground. Destiny ran over to help Xavier and was shocked to see a human lying on the ground.
Ow!
Xavier? Is that you?
Yeah?
You are human!
I guess I am. That's twice now that this orb has changed my life.
At that moment, Henry 001 came in.
Great news. The future is saved.
Destiny and Xavier looked at each other in astonishment. Then they began to cheer in excitement and relief.
Oh, yes!
We did it!
Oh, this was great!
We did it, Xavier!
Oh, awesome. You did it, Destiny. I knew you could.
I honestly don't know what I did. I thought it was just another failure. But apparently it worked. But I guess if I knew it worked, then I would have never thrown it, and you would have never become human.
It was Xavier's love for you that changed him. He sacrificed himself to save your life's work.
What? How do you know this?
I have seen many timelines, and Xavier wasn't always a frog. He used to be a prince at one time, and an evil witch turned him into a frog. But that is another story.
And they lived happily ever after. The end. That was A Frog's Destiny, written by Josiah Smith. Cast in order of appearance: Theresa Arnette as the narrator, Peg Bryan as Destiny, Joe Janke as Xavier the Frog, Julius Steele as Henry 001. Voice directors were Dana Flowers and Karrie Fetter. Foley director, Matthew Mann. Our Foley artists were Jackie Callahan, Anita Janke, Emma Janke, Sophie Janke, Amelia Steel, and Matthew Mann. Audio technicians were Matthew Mann and Jacob Gorsich. Autocue operator was David Marinchak. Video editor was Matthew Mann. Music composed by Matthew Mann. A production of We Are One Body Audio Theater.